What's going on, shitheads? Welcome into Same Shit, Different Toilet. We got a good one for you. It was a busy week for the crew. Duffman is back from Disney World, and he's dealing with that post-vacay funk. But Mr. Orange got a beat, because he spent the episode, the better part of the week with peas on his balls, recovering from hashtag no more oranges. Crapper's going to be stopping by. He's going to quiz us on another NBA Finals edition of You Don't Know Shit About Shit. Me and Mr. Orange talk about synesthesia while taking our hashtag Zen challenge. That was a mouthful. So your mom just might like this episode. And mom jokes never get old, so enjoy, shitheads.
All right. Well, fuck. I'm back from vacation. It feels good to be back in the outhouse. It feels good to be back in Cali.
Good to have you back.
Hey, thanks, man.
I'm glad you made it safe.
It's good to see your smiling faces. Do you guys ever feel like it's kind of like surreal when you come back from like a long trip?
Sometimes I hate it.
Oh, I always hate it.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, it's cool. Today I feel a lot better. I slept a lot yesterday. I took an hour and a half, 2-hour nap, and then went to bed at like 9 o'clock, and I swear to God, I got like 14 hours of sleep yesterday. Wow. I needed it.
That's a lot.
I was dead ass sober yesterday. No nothing. And I woke up feeling pretty good. I washed the cars, hung out with the fam, had some lunch, went to the pool, did a workout, which Fresh touched on a little earlier there. But, You know, Disney World was cool. It's a very sprawled out, vast property. I think each park needs at least 2 more rides. Because you just knock that shit out, and then it's like, well, what do you do now? You know?
Really? You're being serious?
You went through everything?
Well, there was a couple things we didn't go on because shit was like broken and whatnot, and fast passes work differently there. You can make them up to 30 days in advance of your trip.
What?
So the fast passes book up hella quick. It's kind of shitty. I'm just used to
That's ridiculous.
It's pretty ridiculous. And but there are some kick-ass rides. There's some kick-ass stuff to do. There's a lot to see. I'm glad that we did it. But I'm like, if I need to get that fix, I'm just going to go down to L.A., get a park hopper, rock that shit for 2 days, go on like 15, 20 rides, and then just be like...
That California Adventure is fucking awesome, too.
Oh, yeah. You walk around with beer.
They don't have that in Disney World, do they?
Well, they have different stuff. So they have like the Animal Kingdom, which was sick. The Animal Kingdom was my favorite park. Now they have the Avatar rides, 2 Avatar rides, but that just opened last year. They have this... ride called Everest, and it's kind of like their take on Matterhorn Mountain. Sick. Okay. It's fucking sick. And then they have this jungle safari, which was like the best thing because it's all real live animals and stuff.
Is it the same? You're in a boat and then the guys...
No, that's the Jungle Cruise at Magic Kingdom. They still have that. It's pretty much the same. This is an actual safari. So in the Animal Kingdom... It's like you're walking around in a rainforest. It's fucking sick. And it was like raining. There's this dinosaur ride that's really cool. But this jungle safari is like, it's kind of, think the Jungle Cruise, but it was this girl in this big ass 4-wheel drive bus, like with rows of seats. So it's like the Jungle Cruise boat, but on a bus. And it's like, I don't know, like, I'm pulling up to the car, and I went by myself because I went back. Everyone was pooped. They were going to burn a day. They were going to burn a ticket. Like, we just want a chill day. No one wants to go. I'm like, nah, I'm going back to the park. There's all this shit we didn't do.
Right.
And I don't have, like, all these 9 people to keep in one little group. I'm smashing. Yeah. I'm doing it how I know how to do it.
By yourself?
I went back, was super loaded, and I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go on these rides. So one of the things I went on was the safari. And not to talk at too much length about it, but so I'm walking up to the queue, right, and it's my turn to get on, and this cute ass little girl starts whipping this bus up, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And like I was like, well, I hope I'm on her car, because I mean, not to be like pervy or anything, and it's not like I'm staring at her the whole time. Obviously, like you're facing forward and she's driving, but it's like it just makes it cooler if it's like a hot little chick whipping this 4-wheel drive jungle bus around versus like Carl, who shouldn't even be working there. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, so we get in the thing, and she's Carl. Like, and just like starts popping the shit and like spitting knowledge, talking about conservation, educating us about the animals, just being all fly. And I was like, this is sick. She's like, well, let's see. Every safari's different. If this is your first safari, raise your hand. A couple of us raise their hands, and they're like, every safari's different. Like, we don't know what we're gonna see. And we saw so much shit. I swear to God, 3 to 4 times on the thing, she was like, man, you people that raised your hands for your first safari, you sure picked a good one because this never happens.
That's fucking awesome.
Dude, there was like a wildebeest stampede, and she's like, oh yeah, there's the crazy wildebeest. Oh my God, look at them. Here they come. And all of these wildebeest, like 50 wildebeest, come smashing at the Jeep. They're all running by the sides of the Jeep and stuff, and they're like, the wildebeest get crazy when it rains, and it was like thunderstorming on and off the whole time, and they're just like whipping around. They're like, we gotta stop and wait for these wildebeest to get out of the road. And I'm just like looking out the window, wildebeest, like if I wasn't high up in this bus, I could literally touch the wildebeest. It was crazy. And they're like, so it was just like all this cool stuff.
Do you have to sign some kind of waiver before you go on that shit?
No,
Yeah,
you
as
don't.
soon as you walk in the park, you gave up all your rights.
Yeah, when you
I
clicked
guess so.
purchase
There
on the Disneyland
army
ticket.
of fucking lawyers will take care of that.
It's like that iTunes contract we always click yes to but
Yeah.
never read.
What contract? Oh,
that little click yes to
That's
proceed.
right. I agree. That's all I
But
said.
so here's one thing that was really cool because I could talk about this safari for like a fucking hour. It was sick. It was such a good experience, and it was at night. It was at dusk, and I think that worked to my advantage. But she's like pulling up on the we're all right. We're pulling up on the lion encounter, and do you know what that pride? These are Kobe rocks or something like that, and that's the pride rock that they had in the Lion King, and they're the highest point in the jungle, and the lions post up there so they can look over the savannah for prey and
It's the
things
circle
like
of
that.
life, bro.
And they're like, do you know what the African word for lion is? No, whatever Simba. It's Simba. That makes a lot of sense, right? And we're like, okay, that's cool. She's like, oh, look it. The female lion is on top of Pride Rock. That's awesome. You guys are lucky. Like, she doesn't come out a lot. This is a great thing. You guys picked a hell of a good... Oh, shit. Here's the male lion. And he comes out and stands out on top of Pride Rock.
like out of the movie.
Like out of the movie, moonlight shining through his mane, just sitting there looking all proud. And I was just like,
All right.
whoa.
I'm going to have to go on this now and confirm that doesn't happen every single time. Because that sounds like a setup show.
Well, I almost thought that. I was like, is there like do they like press the
Prod
like,
'em?
Yeah, is there like a vibration button they press when they go by or something
A
like
scent thing comes out of the end of the rock, so he goes out there to see what's going
that?
on.
Something. I wouldn't be
Hey,
surprised.
good for you,
but,
man.
but in the hopes of,
That's still
you know,
Because
that's
they
still
knew
cool.
that the fucking Lion King had won.
yeah, right? They were ready.
They're like, we got to reward this dude, man.
It was sick. It was really sick. We had a lot of good time by the pool. It was a nice vacation. I still haven't checked my email. Tomorrow I go back to work and I got to sift through all kinds of emails. But I'm confident and I'm being very P3 that it's not going to be a fucking clusterfuck. But what the fuck is that? It's a different kind of heat out here in California.
I apologize, boys.
What are you doing?
I still got peas on the old ball bag.
That's what that is?
Yeah.
That's a pea bag?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Peas as in edible peas. Not
Oh.
in
Not a colostomy bag?
No.
Oh, God.
You just put it in the same
I
place.
was like,
though.
what did I miss? Well, what did I miss? What happened to you?
Well, let me tell you a story. I I went in Friday to make sure we don't have any more oranges. And I guess it went according to plan. I don't know. Everyone said it wasn't going to take this long to heal, but I'm still getting around pretty gingerly, man.
That was Friday. Today's Monday.
Yeah, they only give you like 3 pain pills. Like I'm supposed to be doing jumping jacks apparently the next day, but that is not happening so far. It was an experience though. It's funny. I've known for a while now that I don't want more kids. I don't want to start the whole process over now.
Right.
I feel like as much as I don't want to admit it, being a grandparent's a lot closer than not being you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I'll have a chance to have some fun soon. And so we're done. We know we're done. We've known we're done. We've always talked about we're done, but it's still hard.
Right.
It's still like a weird.
Don't they give you like
monkey
20
shit?
scenarios of like, well, what happens if your kid dies?
No, I think because I had 3 kids and how old I am, that I didn't get too much. I think the younger you are, they do prod you a lot harder.
Aren't you and Manjeet are about the same age, right? 38.
I'm 39. Yeah.
He told me this laundry list of shit they told
Really?
him.
Huh,
Yeah.
different doctors, I guess.
Yeah. Different
Mine were
crap.
like, yeah, whatever, we'll get you in here, we'll catch you up, don't worry about it. So it's weird because it's all local. They give you some Valium, but they didn't hardly do shit, right? I took 2 of them, and they're like, I warned them, I'm going to need more. They're like, yeah, you'll be fine. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, everybody's metabolism isn't the same. You guys are doctors. You should fucking know that.
Did you feel pain?
Well, they give you a local shot, so then that's supposed to take care of it. But, yeah, you still feel it. Even though they give you that shot, it still feels like – he described it right, like you got kicked in the nuts.
Really?
Yeah, like you feel it when they clamp, feel it when they cut. And
Oh,
then,
Christ.
and then he goes, okay, this is going to smell. And I look down, like, because I'm laying down, but I look down there, and I could see smoke coming up. I was like, Jesus, I didn't know it was going to smoke that bad.
Is that them
Maybe
cutting
that's
in
why-
or sealing it up?
That's how they seal it up. So the way thanks for that. Oh, a lot of guys out there know what I'm talking about, I suppose. It was interesting. Then when I get done, they give you some gauze, and they say, all right, hold this for 10 minutes, and they just leave, right? There's only one guy in there while he's doing it. And we're just
hold some
chit-chatting.
gauze?
Yeah,
like
on
put
the two
pressure on your
incisions.
package? Oh.
For like 10 minutes. So she comes in, and I'm sitting up, in the crisscross applesauce, Indian style, whatever you want to call it, and doing a breathing exercise. I was
are you
getting my
watching
Zen
it?
challenge
I
on.
mean-
No, this is when I was done.
Do they have a mirror? No.
No, I almost asked if I could sit up, but then I was like, I don't want to pass out. Because
Right.
I've had ingrown toenails removed before, and they don't want you looking. And the second time I did it, I told the guy, like, I want to watch. I've had this done. He's like, all right, you can watch. And it's really weird watching something like that happen to your body that should hurt. Same thing when I broke my finger. They had to re-break it and set pins in it. And I was watching them do that. That was really weird, too. It's always a surreal feeling, but that was one I didn't really want to watch.
Right.
I
Yeah.
thought about it briefly, and I was like, nah, let's sit here and talk to him a little. I told him about the podcast, so maybe he listened. I don't know.
Are you a talker during a medical procedure?
Well, during this one I was. Maybe the volume helped a little bit, but I'm
Yeah.
always talkative anyways.
Whenever I get it, like if they have to draw blood for a shot,
Yeah.
I talk.
It distracts you.
It distracts me. I was like, this is what I'm going to do. Like, I'm just going to talk your ear off. That's what's going to make me comfortable. And I'm, not even going to notice that it happened. So that's what I do.
And then, well, the only bad part of this whole process has been that Mama kind of forgot the other day we've been watching this documentary, which I'm going to get into here a little bit. I don't think you guys have seen it yet. We haven't talked about it, but she just goes to get up off the couch, not thinking. She just grabbed my leg and threw it. And I was in pain. That was Friday night. It felt like something
the
moved
day.
like it wasn't supposed to.
Uh-oh.
So I don't know if that's
Do you have to
why
go
I'm
back
still
for a
supposed to-
checkup?
No, I'm not supposed to. But if I'm still hurt tomorrow, I'm damn sure calling the doctor.
So is this bag of peas seriously helping your sack right now?
Yeah,
All right.
it does help. That's why
It's got to be cold though, man. That is like
it's helping keep cooling here.
That
So-
feels good, though. They
Yeah.
say, like, well, I had a back injury or whatever, and you always feel it. Once you've had a back injury or any kind of injury like that, you're like, I'm only like 97% fully healed. Like, I'll never be, according to
good
medical
number.
science. It's a good number.
for me. That's way.
It's a
lower.
good number, but you still feel that 3% a lot, and when you don't want to, and sometimes that 3%, it comes back and it takes you back down to 50%, and then you got to work it back up to 97% again. So, but they're always like, ice is like less is more with ice, right? Like only 15 minutes. Like I'll rock that
don't
shit
care.
I'll rock that
Yeah.
shit. I got a badass ice pack. There's like these 4 long panels, and it folds up so you can make it this one thick block or 2 blocks or all 4 if you're laying down or whatever.
Oh, I
And
bought one of those kind of things off of a hot chick once. I was at the fair and she was hot.
You got
so
swindled?
But she was hot. Like I had to talk to her somehow.
Where did I get swindled by a
I don't think I've ever even used that fucking thing. Come to think of it.
Anyway.
Hey, we've been at this 100 days, boys.
Yeah, a little over 100 days already
It's time
that we've
flies.
been posting, and that's if we don't include the lost episode.
Well,
The lost episode or the batting practice, because we did a few episodes before in another format.
are those gone, by the way?
Yeah. No, they're on my little laptop.
No,
We should pull
okay.
them out and go through them. It'd be fun one day. But yeah, we've
Absolutely.
been on Podbean for a little over 100 days now.
Yes. So we want to thank the shitheads,
Yeah.
you faithful, for getting those numbers and keeping them up, and we love seeing it. Thank you very much.
We love the feedback.
We will keep it up.
And if you want a sticker, send me an email, and we'll send you one. Just send me your address.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I mean, they look like our little cartoon avatars. They look like the logo that pops up on all of the streaming sites, right? Not the Outhouse one, but the one with our faces.
Yeah.
Right. So hit us up on Twitter.
They're decent high gloss stickers. They're kind of thick. They're not super thin. They're
Yeah.
decent.
Get yourself an SSDT sticker.
There's only so many toilets I can put them on, guys. Come on.
Yeah, we want to see them in your city.
So many water
see what
heaters.
Put them on your tool chest. I don't know. I've got this
Tool
big
chest is the
toolbox, and I put all kinds of stickers and magnets on it, and I don't know. I love stickers. I put stickers on the back of speakers and shit too, or
Yeah.
all over speakers. But
I'm
Laptop
scared
cases.
to do that to mine.
yeah,
Yeah, because once you put one, you better keep putting more.
yeah.
Yeah.
My studio monitors are covered in speakers. My like stereo speakers.
Stickers.
Yeah. Did I say speakers and speakers?
Yeah, they're covered.
Speakers on speakers on speakers. This is a
That's some
Jay-Z album.
some Inception shit right
That's
there.
loud.
Yeah.
No.
So while I was stuck on the couch, we started watching this Wild Wild Country. Have you guys heard about this yet on Netflix?
This is a documentary.
It's about that cult that took over the town in Oregon in the early 80s.
Oh, you mentioned this. No, early 80s? No.
Yeah.
No.
I've never heard of this.
It's pretty interesting, man. You got to watch it. I gotta admit, there were big parts of it where I was like, if they would have just left these fucking people alone and then let them do what they wanted to do with their lives, you know what I mean? Like, let them be. Like, there was a lot of positivity in what they were preaching.
Well, why did they
outwardly, at least.
intervene? Did it turn out to be guns like Waco? Or
Well,
there
it-
had to have been something weird going on, or we would have left them alone.
they showed up. Well, they knew what they were doing. They showed up in a town of 40 people, bought an 80,000 acre ranch, and built a city on the ranch. So, like, they totally.
Is this a current city?
It's called Antelope.
And it's in Oregon.
Yeah, and for a couple years it was called Ranishpuram after this guy that was the head of this cult because they took over the town.
What?
Because the town didn't want him there, period. They just didn't want him around. So they went about a way to get rid of him, and so they figured out, like, I think with the buildings, they weren't building anything to code, right? So there's in this little shithole town, so they had all this money, so they started buying property in town, and everybody was fucking selling to them. They're like, fuck it, we're out. So, like, more than half the town sells their houses, and then these people are living in the houses, so now they have the next election, right? They're just running over these people, the old locals. They're like, fuck you, this is what we're going to do. So they took over the city council, so then they
Communism.
Yeah, it was weird. So they renamed all the city streets. They had their own, now they had a legalized police force, so they were, like I said, part of me, like, if they would have just left them on their ranch and fucking let them be, then who gives a shit, right? If they want to go up there and be a crazy sex cult, let them go up there and be a crazy sex cult. As long as they're leaving it
As
real.
long as they're not fucking kids.
That was part of it. Wasn't part of it. Part of it was the sex. Part of it was the fact that this guy preached that sex isn't bad. We need to stop hiding from it, and neither is capitalism. So it was kind of, but he was Eastern. He was from India. Then when they start digging into it, they find out they had some problems where they were too, with governments don't like that sort of thing. But what's interesting,
we're the government. You can't make a government.
Kinda.
Yeah.
And I can see the point, because you don't want towns to be taken over by small chunks of people from other countries. Then, you know what I mean? Then you're going to have all kinds of problems, right?
Yeah.
So what do? Well, at what point do you say, well, what's wrong with this? Why, this is America. They all fucking got here.
Right.
Right? So, like, they all want to live here, so you guys are telling them they can't live there because you don't like it? Like, it's an interesting debate all the way down the middle. Now, some of the shit that ended up eventually going down wasn't chill, but...
Oh, yeah, so he was a psychopath.
So-
Usually people
Well, it
that
wasn't-
head up cults are.
It depends. Like, I guess it depends on who you believe, right? But
Right. Or what side of the story is being told.
Well, that's the other part of it. You hope, at first it seemed like they were very sympathetic to him, but then they weren't. So
Right. We watched. I love all that shit. So we should check that out, Nikki and I. But because we just watched that David Koresh one.
that
was on FX.
Was that any good? That was dramatized for TV. Right?
Yeah,
That
it was
wasn't
it was a show.
Yeah.
It wasn't a documentary, but it was like a reenactment. It was actually really good. And we watched a documentary on it, and the parallels. Like, they did a really good job on their research and making it as realistic as possible. And like,
Did you watch? You liked the last OJ one too, didn't you?
I love the OJ show. I love the OJ show.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh,
Is it like a TV show?
I love the Versace one too. Yeah, all of these are reenactments.
So it's like the same thing they did with the
that
Tupac and Biggie.
thing. Yeah, I never saw the end of that. Well, I only saw like the first episode.
There's only like 9, I believe.
Yeah.
So, but it's
I
pretty.
don't know
good.
why I haven't watched it. Like, it's just, again, it just falls back on my shit. There's too many shows.
Right.
You know.
Exactly.
Oh man. So fucking, there's too many shows.
We cover. What about you, man? Me and Duffman have been talking the whole time. How was your? You didn't have a great last day in the last week, did you?
No, not at all.
Why?
Well,
I haven't heard yet.
Well, I thought things were good because the
Yeah,
last
well,
we spoke.
Okay, well, I went back to work, and they're like walking through the warehouse because I do manual labor, right? I put bathrooms in. I'll admit that. I don't give a shit.
There's nothing wrong with being a contractor.
No, and I'm fucking good at it.
There you go.
So they're walking through me through the warehouse. They're like, look at all this work we got. Oh, yeah, you got all this. There's a lot of fucking shower pans, tubs, whatever. But you're doing this over here. And it was this giant tub that's 60 by 60, round in the front, fucking jets, heater, fucking, it's got a Bluetooth speaker in the motherfucker. Dude, yeah, you're telling me. And it's going in this mobile fucking home over by Scandia.
Everybody
It doesn't sound like this is going to fit.
Oh, no, I got it to fit.
But I'd be worried about the floor.
Dude, I got it to fit, and this thing...
Does the little mobile home have enough power to power?
This company's parts were just fucked up, so it made me look hella bad. And, like, the tub was just, dude, like, leaking and fucking... Nothing I actually did was leaking. It was all the factory fucking hookups and all that shit. Just terrible. It just made my day bad, made me look bad, frustrated me.
Well, you can't expect the quality of the mobile home giant jacuzzi tub to be...
Right. No, and it was just the fact that was the first job that they put me on and came back. And I was like, this is kind of why I left, because of this bullshit this, like.
And then you got hit with it in the face first day.
Yeah.
Like a big wet fish.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and you don't even know. Friday night, I'm getting ready to go out, right? 8 o'clock Friday night. I'm dressed. I'm out of the shower. I got my clean fits on. You know what I mean? Like, I'm ready to go. My homies are showing up in like 25 minutes. We're about to roll out. My boss calls me. Oh, I've been drinking a little bit, and that thing's leaking like crazy. Can you go over there and turn the fucking water off? I'm like, are you kidding me, dude? I've been fucking smoking since I got off work, too, Just because I ain't fucking been drinking. Yeah, so.
Gotta learn how not to answer your phone.
Oh, I shouldn't have. But I didn't the first time, actually. And then somebody else from the company called me. And then somebody else from the company called me. So I'm like, dude, this is fuck. They're just going to keep calling me. I ended up going and fucking doing it and looking to see. I kept a smile on my face the whole time because I'm a professional when it comes to that shit. And the customer was like, well, thank you for coming out. I really appreciate it. Most people wouldn't do that on Friday night. Hope it didn't ruin your evening. I'm like, well, I really got to go. Like, I got people showing up at my fucking house. I got to go. So I rolled back. My buddies are waiting there at the door for me, of course. But so we finally get out. We finally get out.
VC?
We're at the VC. I'm just worried about Andrew.
They got food at the VC?
Because I'm just worried about Drewski because he wasn't feeling well or something before we left. And he's like, I'll just go. I'll be fine. An hour later, I get a call from the hospital.
What?
He had one of his girlfriends or whatever take him to the hospital.
Wow. For what?
Apparently, he was throwing up. He said he's throwing up blood and stuff. We were at the hospital until 3:30 a.m. On Friday night. Yeah, that was just the perfect end of my day. Trying to sleep in a fucking plastic hospital chair, watching Friends on my phone. At least I got my phone. I was trying to look at the positives of it, though, man. Like, he's okay. He had to get an IV, and, like, they gave him some shit for his stomach, and I think he ate something not fully cooked at a barbecue. So,
which caused stomach bleeding?
I think it was just because he was heaving so much, something scratched, and he was throwing up a little bit of blood. He also told Dave, my buddy Dave, that he was fucking drinking a cherry Slurpee. So I keep telling him that. Oh, his blood. I'm like, dude, what the fuck was in your stomach?
Is he a little bit of a hypochondriac?
Yeah.
A little bit?
Yeah. I'd say.
That
But
sucks.
I
So
had
you
to,
didn't get to
I
go to
didn't
the
get
VC.
Well, no, I didn't get that, and I also didn't get
get to
my
smell any pussy.
hashtag Zen challenge
Oh.
because I was just so. I had just got out of the shower. I went to go do that. My buddy showed up. Fuck, I just didn't have 15 minutes. I literally didn't have 15 minutes, and it was fucking with me, and just like this is trying to.
What is the
Saturday, I doubled up, not my time, but I went a little longer.
Good for you.
I didn't put a timer on. I just did it, right? I'm starting to kind of get the same thing every time where I see, like your iTunes when you hit Control T, I think it is. It brings up the fucking whole screen like the thing dancing around to the music.
This thing, more or less.
Yeah, more or less like
Yeah,
your
yeah.
screensaver almost.
But the one that
but it
responds
moves
to the music. Yeah.
I kind of see that shit, and I can like control what's going on.
When
It's
you're
like,
meditating.
yes.
Oh, that's
yeah.
like synesthesia, where you see sounds. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Do you see sounds sometimes?
Synesthesia.
Ever?
No, I wouldn't
It's
say I've
one of
ever
my
done
favorite
it.
parts of
What did you
meditating,
call that?
floating.
It's like synesthesia or some shit.
You have to write that down as best as you
I don't
can
think
for
I'm
me.
saying it right.
All
I don't
right.
think I'm saying
Well, we'll figure that out because I think that's how my brain works,
Yeah.
and I'm starting to like figure that out. Like I need to utilize that more often in everyday life, and that really calms me. Like music has always calmed me down, and it's just that's what I have to do.
When I'm floating, that's part of the reason why I like listening to the music. And when I'm out here meditating, I can see him. When I listen to certain songs, like classical music especially, I see the music. If I close my eyes, I can just different colors for different sounds, and
I'm not one
Yeah,
of
man.
those.
It's kind of
I guess that's why I always loved Fantasia when I was younger too.
Love Fantasia.
Yeah.
I zone out when I zone out and I'm meditating really well, and like I just see different realities. Like I see the people, or I see the people in my life, or myself, or various situations, or envision things that I don't. I wish I could see the colors. I wish I had this synesthesia, you know, or see the sounds. You know
maybe
what I
you
mean?
just got to keep at it, man.
Maybe
never know.
I just don't. Maybe it doesn't happen for me, and then mine is just different. You know, that's cool that you guys can do it, but I never could see those magic eye puzzles. I just
Really?
never. I've
That
seen
was
one,
easy.
and it was on the back of a cereal box, and my whole family was doing it and knocking it out. And I always thought it was because I had glasses. Because back when I was young, I had a lazy eye because the muscles were weak in my eye, so I had to wear corrective lenses to strengthen my eye muscle to make my eye go straight and to fix my vision. And it worked really well, and it worked really quick. But get your peas off my nuts.
Oh man, straight going Pete a sack. Right
So
now.
I always thought it was because I had weird vision that I couldn't see these things. And one time it was my grandparents. They used to come a couple times a year, like I said previously, and come visit us all and whatnot. And there was like a box of Honey Nut Cheerios or something, and it was sitting on the table, and it was like late, and everybody was asleep. And I think my dad was up, maybe watching SNL or something, and I was just like juvenile or whatever, 13 or something, and fucking around in the evening. We're the only two up, and I'm staring at this. I'm staring at this magic eye thing on the back of the cereal, and I see it. It's like it was a squirrel. I don't know why it was a squirrel on the back of a Honey Nut Cheerios box or something like that. But I saw it, and I started yelling and telling everybody in the house that I finally saw the magic eye, and I was hoping people would come out of their rooms
Like
applauding
high-five
me,
you.
high-fiving me, but it was nothing, and it was quiet.
Shut the hell up!
Fuck. Dad's like, people are sleeping, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I just saw the magic eye. No, so I can't see the sounds. But anyway,
What the fuck? Oh damn!
Jesus Christ, this is becoming far
Mama's
too.
out front too.
This is becoming far too regular of an occurrence.
Hell, that's all right.
Is it? We're damn. One of us is gonna jump this guy.
He's out there right now. Look, he won't even shut the car off. He's talking to Mama already.
You're full of shit. Kind of shithead or something?
Yeah, you don't know shit.
You don't know shit about my problem.
Listen, you do not know shit. Give a fuck, my man.
Hey guys, what's going on?
What's up, Dick?
Hey, Dick.
How you doing, asshole? So I see you. You put your wife out front just because I was coming tonight, huh, Orange? You can eat a dick, Dick. Your
Yeah.
parents nailed that one, buddy. When they
Yeah.
did dick, they did for sure.
I'm pretty sure your name on your birth certificate doesn't even say Richard. It just says Dick.
Dick.
I'm gonna go ahead and go with
I'm
that
a
one
dick.
as
What
well.
are you gonna do, huh? Ding. So, Freshie, what do I not know, or what do you guys not know anything about tonight?
Today, Dick, you don't know shit about the NBA Finals. It is basketball finals week, and next week we're bringing the FOB of basketball movies in light of this. And we hope you have some good questions for us tonight because
How much you guys got
I
right
like
on this?
basketball.
I got about 750 big ones. What about you guys?
You don't even have 750 big
In
ones.
pennies, I bet.
Legal fucking tender. All right. So
He's got like a vault of pennies, I swear.
check it out. All right.
He sleeps in a bed of pennies like broke Scrooge
I
McDuck.
told you guys, I went to a bar once in Boston. He probably owned that motherfucker. The whole thing was covered in pennies.
Really?
Everything, seat, bar, everything.
Have you ever-
Resin.
you ever
Yeah, I've
been
been to that bar too. That's my cousin's. So, hey, check it out, dickheads. Or shitheads, sorry. Hey, yeah.
That's,
Hey, you don't know
it's
shit
your
about
fans,
shit, huh?
Apparently.
Which is the only franchise with multiple appearances without a loss? Let's start on my right with Freshie. What do you got, Freshie?
I went with the Chicago Bulls.
That's a good answer, sir. What about you, Duffman?
I also went with the Chicago Bulls, Dick.
And what about you, Orange?
Yeah, I went Bulls too. Looks like we're not original.
Doubles!
Yeah, it was. You got doubles. You got
Doubles.
it. Good job. All right.
Doubles.
Everybody's tied. How many NBA titles have the Warriors won? Start with you this time, Duffman. What do you got?
Trace. I mean, 3.
All right, Mr. Small Penis. Mr. Orange.
All right, dickhead. We'll see. She sleeps with me. Don't forget that, buddy.
I went with 5,
As in 5 inches short of 6 is what you are, buddy.
Oh, look at you growing some balls. What about you, Fresh? What'd you
Growing
get?
balls, he just got him cut off.
Oh, you did. That means that
I-
if you have another little orange, you know that motherfucker's gonna be half crappa.
Oh, I'm sorry, Orange. I shouldn't have brought that up.
That noise, though.
I didn't mean to give him.
I
That's
didn't like
savage.
All right, Freshie, what do you got for number
that.
Warriors
I
titles?
went with the same thing Orange did in 5.
5, huh? All right, and
Yes.
the correct answer is it's only 4. Split it.
Split the
Wow.
medal.
I'm gonna split something when I leave out of here. I gotta tell you. All right, hey.
You know what? If I ever get a vasectomy, I'm gonna plead with the doctor and offer to pay him to dress up like Edward Scissorhands.
I will definitely pay to see that. That'll help raise some funds. As long as your bush is still long too, so he's like chop 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 chop, and all I see are little tufts of Duffman pubes flying everywhere. That'll be worth the price of admission right there.
Dick.
I gotta tell you.
Stick to the questions, my man.
Oh,
Come
my
on.
bad.
Sorry, man.
You might be crossing more lines than you want to.
Oh,
right?
dog, that's what we do on this show. Did you hear the last one?
Yeah, you guys set me up like that again. That's entrapment. Okay, I talked to my lawyer. You can't do that. to
Hey,
me.
bro, I didn't know we had to check the Megan's Law website before you came over.
Yeah, your contract is to pay you in pennies, so we didn't think it was real.
I need cash. It's the smallest denomination you can get. How many games did it take the Warriors to defeat the Cavs in the 2015 finals? Orange, you want to go first?
I don't remember that series that well. I said 7.
All right. What about you, Fresh?
I went with 6.
6,
I
Duffman.
think I'm pretty sure.
I went with 5.
And the correct answer was 6.
Oh,
Yes, Freshy.
Fresh is out in the lead. All right. Who has scored the most career points in finals history? Fresh, I think you're first.
Wilt the Stilt
Well,
Chamberlain.
it's still a good answer. What about you, Duffman?
I went with motherfucking Michael Jordan.
That's also a
is
good
an
answer. What
answer,
about
too.
you, Orange?
I just went with who's been the most. I went with LeBron. He's been there a lot. Might not have the most titles, but he's been there.
3 different
All
answers.
right, let's see which one of you knuckleheads was wrong the most. I don't know how to say who was wrong the most, but the answer is Jerry West.
Cherry West.
Really?
You're
All
the
right.
logo.
That's right, he is the logo. I was the logo once, too. The 1978 Reno Porn Convention. I was going to say, you guys should have been there. How old are you? Maybe your mom was there.
Oh.
Did you have to-
Maybe you're a crapper, too.
Did you have to dick wrestle Ron
like a
Jeremy to
song.
get that title? It's like an arm wrestle, but you use your dick.
I have a fucking text I need to send you right now.
Do it.
Shut up and play this game. You shut the fuck up. Yeah, whatever.
It's our
asshole.
show, bitch.
Hey, listen. Who is the W? Fuck wrote these questions. Who is the NBA Finals award named after? Duffman. You're
Jerry
first.
West.
Jerry West is
No.
his answer. What do you got, Orange?
I went with Larry O'Brien trophy.
Fuck me.
Why? Are you horny?
No, because I think you're right.
You think he's right?
yeah.
I might be right. I don't know. I think
I don't know.
I went with Naismith.
Naismith Award is one of the awards, but it's not that one. According to this piece of paper, the answer is Bill Russell.
Bill Russell.
Yeah, I
is
think Larry
wrong.
O'Brien might be the finals MVP.
I think I'm right.
What was that other
Really?
one you said?
Well,
Consult your computer.
maybe the question was wrote wrong. We'll worry about that later, boys.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and mark mine right for now, Dick, because I'm pretty sure that's right.
Okay,
All right.
we'll let you have one.
Okay, thanks.
The Celtics and Lakers have met in a record 12 NBA Finals. How many times did the Celtics win? First up,
4.
Duffman, you say 4?
I'm going to go with 5.
I went with 6 that they split down the middle. I think I remember hearing that somewhere recently.
Yeah, sounds about right to me, too. The answer is 9.
Whoa.
9. Oh, shit.
Whoa.
Damn, Celtics
Wow.
are stomping.
Yeah, if you blur your eyes when you look at this 4, it kind of looks like a 9.
I love the Homer voice. That's
Who
awesome.
led the Warriors in scoring in last year's finals? Orange up first this time. I went with Durant. What about you, Fresh? Who'd you go with?
Yeah. I also went with Kevin Durant.
And what about you, Duffman?
I went with Steven Iguodala Curry.
Wait,
I think you got a little too many people in there.
Steph Curry.
But you forgot that the correct answer was Durant.
yeah, he was the MVP, I
Yeah.
believe.
I love my KDs.
Yeah.
My family hates my sneakers, but I love my KD 10s.
Which player has appeared in the most finals? Fresh, you're up first.
This was a tough one, but I think I'm going to have to go with Wilt Chamberlain.
That's
I was
probably
going to
a
say
good
Horace Grant,
answer.
honestly.
That was also a good guess. What
Yeah,
about you,
but
Duffman?
I
What'd you
went with
guess?
Wilt.
Magic Bird.
Magic Bird. If you combine them both up.
No, Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. And what about you, Orange? I went with Big Shot Rob. I don't know why, but he was in a lot there.
Robert Horry?
Yeah.
That's a good fucking answer, dude.
The right answer was Bill Russell.
Bill Russell. I was on the wrong guy.
My favorite is Michael
You
Jordan.
like that answer, though? I thought Big Shot could be the underdog because he won a lot. And I was like,
Yeah,
did he
was
lose
what,
any?
Spurs,
I don't know.
Lakers, Rockets.
All right. Last question, boys. I think Freshie sounds like he's winning. I'm not sure. We'll go back and check.
Yeah, we'll check it.
I only have one right.
When LeBron James joined the Heat, he said that they were going to win not 1, not 2, ... not 6, not 7 titles. How many did they actually win? Duffman, what do you got?
Why would you just set the bar so high for yourself? The bar's already been set high enough. Why would you come in and be like, we're going to win 22 titles under my 7-year reign?
It's like I'm walking in going, my dick is this big.
I put 2.
All right, Orange, what'd you guess? I also guessed 2. And what about you, Fresh?
I'm pretty sure the answer is 2.
And the correct answer is 2.
Woohoo!
Good job, guys. I'm
Tough
not
man,
sure.
pulling one out at the end.
Yeah, I'd
we
love to
done?
pull it out at the end.
That's always a good plan, sir.
If you pull it out at the beginning, it's premature.
I think Freshie won,
Let's
huh?
see. 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4,
Sounds
and
like the beginning of a Snoop
five.
Dogg.
Looks like Fresh doesn't know the least amount of shit about, know shit
That's
about the NBA
right.
Finals. Good job, buddy. Hey, guys, I got to get out of here.
Hey,
Mama's probably still out front waiting by that sweet ride I got. I'm going to take her for a ride. I'll catch you guys later, Orange. You're shooting blanks now, fella. Sorry about that. Go fuck yourself.
Wow.
All right, guys, later.
Dick
Better
Crapper,
off.
ladies and gentlemen.
Good to see you, Dick.
It's always fun. Well, I guess we know who knows the most about shit basketball, right?
Good job, buddy.
Thank you.
I thought Larry O'Brien was right, too.
Damn, that was a good guess, but I think you were correct. I
think
believe
it's
it's like
MVP.
it's either that or one of the conference finals
Yeah,
trophies.
something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know who the fuck the guy is, but it just sticks out in my head for some reason.
Yeah.
I've been enjoying watching sport lately. I'm like,
Yeah?
I don't like to sit on my ass, and I don't sit still very well for long. Like I just always have to be doing something, but I've just been trying to relax more. So I'll just get in my recliner and just like watch ball games, and it's like,
It just reminded me, I don't think we ever talked about the European Champions League final thingy-majigger that...
Oh, you're talking about soccer, mate.
Yeah, well, we didn't talk
Footy.
about it because this
little
whole
bit of
joke
footy.
I've been playing on Lord Flatulent,
Right.
and then Liverpool makes a run all the way to the Champion League
They did.
final, and then they...
You gotta fill us in. We don't
Oh,
watch
I'm
that
sorry.
yeah, I don't know what this shit is.
I didn't talk to you about this at all.
No.
Dude, they were just like on the stage, like besides the World Cup, is the European Champions League, and they were just playing the final against Real Madrid, and our top scorer went down like the first 20 minutes. We lost 3-1. It was crazy. The Liverpool goalie, dude, I'm surprised dude didn't kill himself. And I'm not saying that because I'm not encouraging it in any way, but these people take soccer serious, and he fucked up twice, and they lost 3-1. So,
Man.
he apologized. He was saying sorry to the fans on the field as soon as it was over.
Wow.
It was crazy, yeah.
So, guys, I finally sacked up, so to speak, is the theme of the day. I
Thanks.
sacked up and finally bought some weed legally.
It hurts the fucking
I got the
That
weed.
sucks.
All I did was get the WeedMaps app.
Yeah.
All you do is take a freaking picture of your driver's license,
Yeah.
and they bring you weed.
Well,
It's easy
it
as
used to
that.
be harder because you used to have to validate your rec, and they would have to call your physician or your issuing provider to verify that your medical recommendation
Right.
was legit. And if it was after hours, it wasn't always possible to do for a delivery service.
Yeah.
You know, or you had to go into the dispensary in person and blah blah blah. And you were the last one that's like, "Yo, can you get me some of this?" And I would love to, and I never mind helping. But that one
I'm
time,
old
I was
school,
like, "Bro,
man.
I forgot it," and that's fine.
It's like taboo in my mind. You
I'm
know
like,
what I mean?
So
I
so
forgot.
you still haven't gone in anywhere yet. You just had it
It's
delivered,
fun.
which is still to me weird.
Still
I had it done on Friday because I couldn't go,
Oh, yeah, nice old guy.
and
dude.
Mama
Like,
won't go.
probably been stoned for like the last 40 years.
Yeah, now he's got a job. He's like loving it. You know,
Just drives
Yeah.
around. He's like an Uber weed driver.
he
Yep.
probably gets smoked out a lot.
Maybe.
You think?
Hey, dude,
I
want
think so.
a place, bro?
Yeah, dude, just rolling in on a bunch of stoners, just like, oh, dude, sit down. Pizza's gonna be here any minute. Man. I'm gonna fucking burn one. You brought the weed, bro.
Dude, it was
They
so
got those
cool,
guys
though.
scheduled.
It's cool though. It is. It's weird.
It's a business though, so a lot of that part of the culture is kind of going away because boss man will fire you if you're missing your drops, and they got revenue to make and they're reporting, and also for insurance purposes, delivery is,
Yeah, no, that's true.
people don't fuck with delivery. Like
Yeah,
on
I
the
gotta
road
get
exposure
packaged.
is damage because you could have the best, most safe, trained sober driver out there and they still could die because I could run into them
Oh, yeah.
texting. Not to say that I drive and text, blah blah blah, but
Oh,
you know what I mean.
Everybody does.
It's it's much more of a hazard because of unforeseen accidents. It's like, and they don't want it to get ruined. The business owners, and they're doing the right thing. The ones that are really doing the right thing, that are trying to be compliant. It's a legitimate business, so why not treat it as such?
Oh no, they have to.
If you're not gonna do that, and then you're gonna fall victim to all of the bad shit they say you're gonna do, then you're fucking hurting the cause. So there's a lot of people out there that are taking it really, really fucking seriously. I
you
bet
don't want to be the one that fucks the cause up.
you can't.
You're right. Yeah.
We've come so far.
That's how I feel every time I eat an edible and I think I'm gonna die.
Don't fuck the
And I
cause
know
up.
I know this isn't an original thought. I've heard lots of people talk about this, but I've had it when I was at Stone, just sitting there going, "Fuck, I'm gonna be the first one. I'm the first one that died. There's gonna be newspaper articles about me. I'm gonna fuck the cause
Dude,
up.
the weed is
They're gonna-
so good
everything
these
was good
days.
until
Like,
orange.
I don't blame you, dude. It's so
You ain't
potent.
gonna die, dog.
I don't even smoke that much of this shit. I got the White Buffalo. and
White
like,
Buffalo's fire.
Yeah, dude. I just pack a little tiny bit in
Yeah.
there. A little
I
bit.
love your
It's
tolerance.
worth the money."
Oh yeah. Oh for sure. Because this last one that I bought from that shitty shop down the street from my house, it was middle of the road, but it was boo boo, and my tolerance is fucked up right now. So it's like I wasn't even feeling it. And I was just like, this sucks. If I would have just put in a little bit more, I would have got the good shit. So that's what I did this time at the place that I like that's downtown, across the street from Pear Gary's, and they have this poster. Excuse me. They have this poster on the wall by like the reception check-in area, and it said like 1118 legalized it, and then it shows like a bud leaf or something like that, because the slogan was always legalize it, and this time it said legalized it, and I was like, that's pretty fucking fresh.
Yeah.
That's
fresh.
pretty
Absolutely.
fresh. So any more to say on your experience about
I mean, why wouldn't I do it again? It was the price was right. I got
You pay a little bit
more
of a
than
premium.
what I usually get
right?
for a little more money, but it's gonna last me a while, man. That's the way I am, though. I don't smoke. Actually, I shouldn't say this probably, but since I've been back to work, I've been smoking during the day because everything I build when I'm fucking stoned. and I'm fucking good, people.
Well,
I'm good.
we should go to a shop like the one that Orange was recommending, or this one downtown. We should check it out. It's just cool being in there, using your credit card or your debit card to buy marijuana like a grown up,
That's
iPhone
as if
purchase.
you were buying popcorn or something. You know, you could use cash too, but you don't have pressure. And at first it was like, oh, in and out, like, oh, I want this one.
Yeah.
And at first it was a little taboo, but now you get. Now
I
I'm
agree.
getting
I'm a lot
comfortable.
more talkative.
Oh,
now.
and they'll talk,
Yeah.
and they're willing to
And
educate
they
you
love
about
it.
it.
Yeah.
Because it's an actual medicine. It's an intoxicant, right? It gets us high. We enjoy it. It's recreational, and it should be. But there's a lot more to it. I want to.
So how do you maintain smoking weed and being physically fit? Does that have a whole? Is that kind of wrapped up in each other or no?
Well, real quick before I get into fitness, I'll answer your question. I don't think smoking before physical fitness or before exercising is a bad thing. Sometimes when you're exercising, especially if you've fallen off the wagon like I have and you're trying to get right back into it, it's hard. And you can zen out off weed by like removing the fact that it's hard, and it can increase focus. You know how it does,
Yeah.
especially if you're on like a powerful sativa or something like that, a super upper strain. It will increase focus. So
That's what
if,
I think every time I play video games.
if you compartmentalize everything into like, all right, this is only like 5 more reps, or I only have 15 more minutes, or it's like, oh, I can, it makes you stronger because it heightens your mental ability, which provides you the mind over matter capability. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
mind over matter, obviously it's like, yo, I broke my arm. I can't mind over matter that shit. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, fix yourself, arm. Like,
dude, that's so weird. My mom just broke her arm.
really?
Oh,
That
sucks.
sucks.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Oh, she fell off her bike.
Oh, that sucks.
She said she was like trying to miss this fox that had like a dead animal in their fucking mouth. So I don't know if that's true or not, but
Jesus Christ.
she fell. She's all fucking hit her face, broke her arm.
Ugh.
Yeah, sorry.
That's
That's a
Yeah.
bummer.
You just said broken arm. It's like that kismet shit just popped in my head. Totally
That's
forgot
such a
about
bummer.
that. That was on Friday as well.
Man,
that
fuck
just shows
Friday,
how
Was Friday
fucked
a
up
full
my-
moon or something?
I don't know, man. It just really got to me a little
The,
bit.
the
I
universe
did not
was
get.
sad, dude. There's going to be no more of my offspring.
not
dude.
get
It was
mad
just
at
like-
They were morning
Yeah,
orange
it
haven't
was-
nuts.
It was
literally-
karma. I've been watching My Name Is Earl too much.
I haven't been mad in a while.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't even mad. I was like just disappointed more than anything that I was. I don't know that the shit was happening. You know, like I was rolling with the punches, trying not to get mad about it as much as possible. And
Well, you know what? You got to take the good with the bad, and mad, anger, sad, all of them are part of the natural cycle of emotions. So even if you're P3 to the max, Zen fresh, whatever's hashtag Zen challenge, you said pound me too the other day. I was like, I could have too
that
much
was an
fun with that.
offshoot.
I could have too much fun with that. But anyway, it would be abnormal to not have the negatives. And I mentioned this on an episode before, and I heard some guy talking about the radio or on the radio about it, and it was just like, yeah, it's not right. Or he used a different word. Like, I'm coming off like 10 days of drinking and smoking. So I'm learning this as I'm speaking to you guys this evening. I was like, I forgot how to talk.
I've been the land of Disney for so
What if
long.
my like mind is mush, right? I'm gonna have to eat some tuna fish tomorrow morning or something, and then some bumblebee tuna. But it's like it's impossible to be perfectly positive all the time. Fake ass Stepford wife smile. Like, you have to have the good with the bad, and it's how you react to the bad. So it's normal that sometimes you're gonna have a dark cloud over your head and it's gonna be raining, and other people are gonna be in the sunshine. Everybody's gonna have a bad day,
And
but that's how you know the difference between the good and the bad days is when you have a bad day.
And now that I'm doing the work I'm doing, it's right back to your fitness. You
Boom.
know, it literally. Nobody fucks with me. I just go and I'm working hard, but man, I'm not even thinking I'm doing it. I'm just doing it.
Right.
And it feels pretty good. I don't know. Except for when I stab myself with like a screwdriver or something.
Injury. Well, and you can injure yourself with during
Opening the oven door.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's what I did too.
How did that
on
happen?
Friday
That's
of
some
all
good-
time?
that's
Dude, this
some
was a
good weed,
bad
man.
fucking day. That was a bad day. That
You
was
got
just
that burn on Friday too?
yeah, dude. This is the end of a fucked up week.
I'm
Let's just put it
telling
that
you.
way, but
Universe was mad about my huevos.
and it was fucking with me.
Everybody close to me, man. I'm surprised Duffman didn't have something bad happen.
I don't remember. I'll have to recount the events. It was weird because I didn't quite know what day it was.
Yeah, that's all.
Like a bunch
That's a
of
great
days.
feeling, though.
So I'm trying to figure out what day Friday was, but I was like, I'll figure that out later because I don't know. But I've injured myself with fitness before. We used to, when Nikki and I first got together, one of the first things we started doing together was working out. And she had always worked out before in her previous life. That was like a thing that she's always been fitness conscious. and
Previous life.
working out, just like
Pre-Duffman.
Duffman. Yeah.
Back in 1847,
BD, before Duffman.
sewing up the wound.
And I wasn't, and I wanted to, and I was always trying to do it, and my ex was always just like, I'm not working out, like this is retarded, and I was like, well, that's how come you're getting gross. And so I was like, yo, like let's do this, like this is what she does. Okay, so we got to working out like 7 times a week, like every day. Some days it would be like, well, we got this. We would plan schedules around workouts, you know, and we were always working
Dedication.
out. And like, yeah, I was at the thinnest I had ever been. I had like abs. I was like strong. I had stamina, like all this good stuff. And I felt good. I felt like super confident. I felt power charged. I was like a superhero. Like it was fucking cool.
Nice.
And then it kind of, we got a little lax, and the holidays started kicking in, and fourth quarter is really big for her and Manjeet's department and health insurance. And after the Affordable Care Act, it changed a lot of things, and a lot of people renewed December 1st. So it was like all of a sudden 3/4 of our health insurance book renews on one day, and they would have to bust ass. And it kind of threw off the fitness, and then we got back on the fitness, and we would do it, and then it's like, all right, we're gonna get married. So we started busting ass for marriage, you know, for the wedding, to look good for the wedding. There's a lot that can be done in a short amount of time. So I'm like, I want to get back on it because I need the positive endorphins in my brain, because I've been down, I've been in such a negative non-P3 rut, and I'm just done with it. Like, I know there's more that I want. It's like, I can't kill myself. But when you start having the thoughts like, yeah, maybe fuck this, like maybe like I'm just done. There's nothing is worth it anymore. It's like, I don't think I would ever get that far. But the fact that the notion even crosses your mind is like, you're in a dark place.
I think there's a certain amount of normality to that.
I think there is
And I think
too.
it's something we don't talk about enough as a species.
I agree that
Maybe there are cultures that do, but I don't.
we
think
don't.
do.
I think we're getting there.
Yeah.
A lot of people are addressing mental health more than they ever have before,
Yeah.
and I think that's a great
It's a
thing.
great thing.
Because it doesn't make me feel like a fucking
Everybody's got
alien.
a little bit of something. There's no
Right.
such thing as normal.
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
Normal is subjective.
What is normal?
Very subjective.
Sometimes
is beauty.
normal. The people that try to be the most normal are like the fucking
Fuck.
jerk
I've
offs you
seen
don't want to hang out
I've
with.
seen some girls that I thought were beautiful, and some people were like, "Nah, dude, what are you talking about?" You know what I mean?
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, you know?
Right.
Or
To-
the
To
beer
each their
holder.
own.
The beer holder.
Boom.
It definitely lowers.
We need a rim
Oh,
shot.
how do
need
we
a-
not?
We need.
I gotta say, even that being that animated hurts my huevos.
I'm so sorry.
Jesus,
Next week,
man.
you
I don't
want
know
to
how
next
we'll
week.
look
We'll be
tomorrow.
I hope
can't
there's
even
nothing.
laugh, dude.
I hope there's nothing really wrong, and it's just taking you a little longer
Oh,
to
it's
recover.
just
but-
really sore. I just,
So better health, better mind, better body. When I'm working out, I feel a lot better. Also, I don't want to go buy a bunch of new clothes. I've said this before. I only have 3 pants that fit, like for my business clothes, and it's like I'm getting down there. I'm encroaching on 2. Like the button gets all tight, and it's like your little beer gut sticks out. So I'm gonna
sweatpants are detrimental to your health
Yeah, I'm not wearing
because
a
you don't
sw-
realize when you're putting weight on. I go
Oh,
through those
yeah.
when the time of the year gets just right where I can wear like these 2 pair of pants because I don't want to wear shit to work. When I get to work, I wear fucking adult pajamas, right? We have coveralls.
Coveralls.
Yeah, so like, I don't, the coveralls, you reach a point where you're finally like, okay, maybe this one's just a little small. Like it's old, it's been washed. You know what I mean? But for the most part, you don't, you can grow and not notice it unless you're putting something around your waist that
Yeah.
has a button
Oh.
Or you know what I mean?
This is
Like,
the first time in my life I actually noticed that I'm
yeah.
getting a little belly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he pointed it out earlier, and he's like, "It's not much, but this is big for me." And I was like, "I wish I had that gut."
I know.
Dude, and it's going to get smaller.
Well,
Watch.
that's what he said. He's like, "Watch
Yeah.
this. In 3 weeks, this shit'll be gone."
Yeah, because it's work. Just
Yeah.
because of work.
So-
That's
That
true.
is my
Because I'm
workout.
lazy at work, so
I'm pretty zen while I'm at work,
That's
actually.
good. Well, it
Like-
sounds like you got a better arrangement now. You
Oh,
said you
people
were a lot more
love me in
solitary.
their house.
Yeah,
People
driving
love
around,
me. They're like,
listening to
"Oh, I would
music,
fucking adopt you. Yeah, I get to listen
doing
to
your own
music.
thing,
Fuck.
being your own boss. And that's
Sports
kind of what
talk,
I like about my
rock and
job is I
roll.
can kind of do my own thing too. But I just trying to get back into it just to
you're
make my mind better, make my relationships better. Because when you're agitated and depressed, you're either yelling at somebody or you're mopey and they don't want to be around you. And to make my clothes fit fucking better, and just for my vanity. I look fat in pictures. I look gross in pictures. I know I could look better in pictures. And these are the pictures that I'm taking with my newborn son, who's only 2 months
Yeah.
old, who's already teething, by the way.
Really?
I swear
Yeah.
to God, he's going to walk it by like 6 months. He's insane.
Wow.
He was a complete champion on the plane. Didn't fuss, didn't cry, nothing. Perfect. I took him on rides. We were on the Pirates of the Caribbean, and Nikki was actually holding him, and he's looking around. His first ride was the Haunted Mansion. He's just looking around, chilling, no fuss. We took him on Pirates of the Caribbean, and they're shooting the cannons, and the water's exploding, and it kind of splashes on people, and it splashes on him once, and he does baby arms, and then it splashes again, and it hits him right in the face, and he goes, meh! And just fuck you! Don't put water in my face. And we wipe the water off his face, and we kind of shield him with his little hat. And then the whole rest of the shit, he was just checking it out, man. He was vibing. He was
awesome.
so cool. We took him to this fireworks show, and we were watching this nighttime fireworks show. You know, at nights they all do their shows and
Yeah,
shit, their
hella
light
shows.
shows and shit.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't know there was going to be intense fireworks. I thought it was going to be more like a light show. And then the first fireworks went off, and he did double baby arms, triple baby arms. And I was like, oh shit. And then I immediately covered his ears. I covered his ear and put his
Yeah.
other ear up against my chest because I didn't want his first words to be "come again" or what, you know. So I'm I'm covering his ears, and when there was a big route of booms, he would shake and shit. But other than that, he's just watching it and taking it.
it's.
and
Don't you wish that you could somehow know what he was thinking?
yes, yeah.
Isn't that a
I
weird?
wish he could
that's a-
talk. I
that's
can't
a
wait
Mr.
for him to
Orange goes
talk.
deep right there.
No, I do, and you can actually. It's kind of like the same thing with dogs. You wish your dog could talk.
Yeah.
This whole thing with the Matrix is all coming through now. Why he likes this movie so much.
Oh, you're a big fan of the Matrix.
It literally just dinged in my head. Fucking why?
Yeah.
Because of what you just said. Would you like to know what he's thinking?
Oh, dude, I would love to know.
That's just like getting
Been this
plugged
movie.
into somebody's
because
head.
I've thought
and
about this. I've spent a lot of time
why
thinking
you
about.
think that concept is so.
But what is your dog thinking? What is everything that has a brain?
Oh yeah, that'd be
It's
cool.
got to be processing something, right?
Did you
I
like
don't-
that Mel Gibson movie, What a Woman Wants?
Oh, that was I did.
It's actually
See?
a pretty good movie.
See, I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah, I did. No, and it's not that I necessarily want to know just for selfish reasons, maybe
No.
to manipulate people or society even, but
Right.
the concept of what is a baby thinking, something that can't, or an animal, a pet, that cannot tell you, is what baffles me, because they have to have their own language of
Well,
sorts. When they see the
true.
lights, something's going through there. Is
Fuck yeah.
language?
You think your two dogs just don't communicate with each other?
Oh no, I believe they do 100%. If I think
Right.
fucking plants talk to each other, of course I think the dogs talk to each other.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot is spoken without being spoken. There's a lot unspoken. You get a lot from eyes. You get a lot
Okay,
from
but
body language.
When they see the eye, there's something going through that
Right.
dog brain.
Well, and the
that's
thing with
saying, all right, don't fucking go over there because there's the big scary thing with the teeth.
The
But
thing
that's
that's-
not what they're saying, but that's what they're thinking.
the thing with the baby is different though, is that they don't have any point of reference. So I'm like,
so what are they thinking?
exactly.
Okay, I see what you're saying. It's not a memory thing
Well, it's like
because it's all new.
we took him on this
Okay.
haunted mansion ride, and it was kind of creepy. It was darker than
kinda.
the other one. It's pretty good. Well, now
Me and Fresh are going to be on CNN when they talk. Well, the first ride they ever took that kid on was on that goddamn haunted mansion. Ain't no surprise he ended up doing
but
what
he
did,
doesn't
you know?
know that any of that shit's scary.
No, there's a point to that.
He doesn't-
except for, he only shudders at the fireworks because of the noise. not-
Exactly.
so is scary. Well, that's a good question.
Yeah, well,
That's a
he
whole
doesn't
other
know
show.
it's scary because he doesn't.
Doesn't know it's scary.
He
is
hasn't
yet.
he hasn't had received marketing. He hasn't been through Halloween.
But
he
things are
hasn't
still
been through
naturally
spooky.
scary.
Right.
Like-
It's a reflex. It's a
Yeah,
something
but
that we.
if something is if you an eerie setting or an eerie mood or an ambiance doesn't have the same impact on somebody without a point of reference than it does.
Oh
to
no, you're
us.
right.
That's a good call.
So it's like I was like, shit, I hope he doesn't have nightmares. And she's like, oh, why would he have We kind of talked it out. Like, why would he have nightmares? He doesn't know that's scary. He might see those ghosts and stuff, but how is it going to really scare him? Like,
Because a ghost is somebody that used to be alive and now is a spirit. And
Well-
they don't
Oh, that
understand.
shit,
That's what I'm
man.
saying.
well, that's another
That's
thing
crazy.
about kids. So another thing about kids is because they haven't been brainwashed or manipulated by any kind of our teaching yet or as much. I mean, he's learning from the moment he comes out, but he doesn't know what marketing is. He doesn't know what movies are. He doesn't know what fiction is, etc., etc. Like the kids, I think because they came from a seed, right? They came from an egg. They grew internally. They grew with our vibes. They're growing their brains, but we only use. What's the percent of our brains that we actually use?
I'm not
it's
sure.
super small,
10,
17%.
it's less, yeah.
Something like that.
Actively.
Don't quote
yeah.
us on that, please.
Yeah, whatever. But and you
Although
know, I
I'd
know-
love to get our first angry email, like, you guys are idiots.
Yeah, fuck
You only
in
use
advance.
9.5%.
Yeah, whatever.
So
Yeah.
anyways.
And fuck you in advance for that email. But please send it to @Duffman at 916. Blah, blah, blah. So what I'm saying is though, I think the kids, the babies, have they can see those specters from another world. Like they can see. I don't know.
Do you think a newborn has access to other dimensions?
Is that what we heard?
No, I basically think that.
Well, if these spirits exist in a different dimension that mean you can't see, which I believe are there. I'm not saying what I believe they're populated with, but I believe that there are many dimensions.
Yeah,
This is
and I
proven
believe
fact.
that their brains haven't been trained to believe that is potentially farce. So that since they don't have any bias or any teaching to say that, oh, that's fucking poopy cocky or whatever, they're just open. That's why they're
the baby really thinks you disappear when you play peekaboo with them.
right.
They don't understand that when your face disappears that you're behind that thing now. They think that you're gone. That's a spatial awareness or something.
And that's why I think that they can see other
That's
things that
interesting
we
thought.
can't see and have been trained to not see. Because there's a couple times where I swear I've seen a ghost before, and on some whole other level of consciousness. One of them, I was thoroughly sick with the flu. Could have been a fake hallucination, but I swear I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, I swear I saw my grandpa at his house when we were there for his funeral, and I was sitting in his office at his computer, which was one of my favorite places to be in the world ever in life.
Mm-hmm.
I fell asleep there, and I woke up, and I saw him walk in the room and just kind of hover there and look at me and then dissipate away. Two fucking different times I've seen ghosts. One time I was sitting, I had the flu, I was laying on the couch, and I was facing the door at this condo we had, and I always knew some shit went down on this condo because the door jamb was kicked through and re-repaired. And then in the bedroom, they never fixed it. There was hack marks in the door that they weirdly puttied over.
Let's write this down. Sounds like
And
a good screen.
that,
I know.
well, we're recording it, and that door jamb was kicked through. So I knew some shit happened in this house, and they cheaply repaired it, and the vibe was always bad in this house. So the TV was on the opposite wall of the door. I never laid on the couch that way. I never laid on the couch towards the front door. And for whatever reason, I'm in a sleep. I'm on the NyQuil. I'm all fucked up off the flu. I just wake up, fully awake, specter on the edge of the couch, right by the door, looking at me, this lady, and then she just went downstairs, and I was like, that ain't cool. And
How
went back
old
to
were you?
sleep. Fucking 28.
About the same age, I had an experience where me and my ex-wife were living in the same house. We were unable to separate physically, even though our marriage was over, just because of money. So the way our house was set up was we had a full guest suite on the front of our house. So you had your own deal. You had your own bathroom. You had everything. So she was up there and I was back there. And one night I go to bed and I hear this knock at the door. 3 knocks. And I was like, what the fuck? And I hear the dog kind of pick its head up. I hear the dangling thing, the collar, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And so then, like, I hear the door open. You know, that's silent, but you can still kind of hear it, kind of whoosh. And then all of a sudden, my ex-wife was over me. Like, she was there, and it was her, and I know it was her, but I couldn't see her face. It was like it was dark, and the way the light was, right? And so I tried to get up, and then I couldn't. This thing that was above me had me held down. Shoulder pinned down, weight on top of me, and I couldn't move. And she had gone down to kiss me, and that's when I started pushing her off. And when I started fighting her, she pinned me down, and I could feel the fucking life getting sucked out of me, man.
Ugh.
Like, just sucked out of me, and I couldn't move, and I was fighting, and I was pushing, I was fighting, and then, boom, I sat up in bed. And I was like, thing was gone, or whatever the fuck it was, right? And I was like, and I look at the dog, and the dog was just looking at me. The dog was awake for whatever reason. So I always wondered. At the time, I was going to church a lot, and then so I've had, you know, that side of this explanation. I've had years to think about this since. Whether or not it was just a dream, whether or not, you know, something from somewhere else for whatever reason was attacking me or trying to prove a point, or I don't know what it was, you know. But I felt her hair on my face. It wasn't a dream.
Damn.
Right.
I felt it. You know what I mean? Like, the thing was over me, and I was like, why are you trying to kiss me? And she just kept, like, relentlessly, slowly coming. I was like, you know, like, we're done. What the hell? You know, like, I was like, what the hell are you trying to do? And then all of a sudden, it was just, it was weird, man.
Ugh. I don't know, man. The baby stares off into the corner sometimes. Not all the time.
Yeah.
He's not like a crazy person. But there'll be some, you'll be holding them, and he's just like off. But they're not scary to him because, again, he doesn't have a point of reference of fear.
So there could be somebody there, is what you're saying.
Oh, yeah.
You're a big-time believer.
Oh, yeah. And I think a lot, I try to believe positive things like they're my grandparents or people that haven't met him or people from the, and I used to think that. And then Nikki said, well, what if it's our grandparents? And I was like, that's what I'm thinking.
This is weird because I just brought up Coco tonight. And I said, you need to go home and watch Coco.
Yeah.
Tonight. Well, tomorrow night.
Yeah. But he'll be giggling and smiling. But then every now and then there is one time where he's gazing off into the distance and then he's like, whoa, like where a bad one comes and like I figure it just reaches at him or something and he's like, I'm done, and he like doesn't like that and he'll like look away and stuff. It kind of reminds me of like the Sixth Sense. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
I see dead people.
I don't know, man. I think there's something to it because they're not,
I've never seen that.
they haven't been culturally
I already know what
brainwashed
happens.
yet. They haven't been taught that it's wrong yet
So what?
to believe
So
in
you
those
think-
things or see those things.
So you think you can't see him if you don't believe in him? Like
Yeah.
it's Santa Claus? In
Kinda.
essence, I mean, I'm not saying that Santa Claus is one of these things.
Well, no.
Because I don't think that's true.
I think people see things when they're meant to see them. So if you were totally anti and blah, 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 whatever kind of adjective you want to throw on it, and you were against that, that would never be something that you would believe you would see.
Lasers on sharks.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But you would be meant just those peas, bro. And you said you were going to eat those or you weren't going to eat
I'm just saying, next week when you guys come over and we're having chicken and peas, feel free to make whatever assumptions you
I'll
want.
bring some more tacos. How about that?
Thank you. Hold the peas.
You guys have your home cooked meal. We love KGB's cooking, but if I see peas on the plate within the next week and a half, I'm out.
Week and a half.
He's
You're
gonna
never
spite-
going to be able to eat peas.
He's
in front
gonna
of me.
spite save them. We'll never know. He's gonna put them back in the freezer. Why are all these peas flat? Oh, orange! These are your ball bag peas, aren't they?
You held on to them bitches for that long, Jesus.
Well, we already heard what you did with the scarf.
Right? I know. I got the potential in there.
I
I don't know how we went. We derailed there fast.
We derailed
I like
there,
where we were going,
but it's
though.
cool.
It
like,
was fun.
that could be discussed more. But I think, well, anyway, the person that's anti, I think they can and will be shown whatever they need to be shown when the time is right, if the time is right, if they're ever. So, like, you
Who's
only
making that decision that they can't see?
them mostly.
So you're saying that if you don't believe you can't see, it's not the thing doesn't reveal itself to you, in essence?
Well, but I think the thing can be revealed, but it'll be revealed when you're ready to see it. Right?
All
And
right.
since the kids or the babies don't have any bias, the shit's automatically there and they're because they don't have any blockers yet. They haven't been socially conditioned.
So
Not to say that I'm gonna socially condition my kid, but that just happens
No.
by default.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Right.
That's part of. You ever watch that show Brain Games? You ever see it before? Look it up. I don't know if it's on
I've heard
Netflix
of
or it's
it.
on Hulu. It's a neat show because it's like
Is that that one that's just a couple years old? It was on like NBC or something.
no. It was on like one of the channels that's
GSN.
not. Yeah, it might even be the Game Show
I think
Network.
it
Huh?
was GSM.
Is
But
it
no,
old?
it's not a game show.
Brain game.
No, it's not a
Oh
game
yeah,
show.
yeah, it's like a show. No,
It's
maybe
a
it was on
show.
like TBS or something like that.
It was one of those
USA.
Was it when we were
channels.
kids?
Yeah.
No.
No.
They're still making them. I think.
Yeah.
Really?
Within the last couple, my kids love them too. They're always talking about how our brain works and the different things that it does that we are completely unaware of. So you brought up though that we don't use a lot of our brain. So
Right.
does that mean that you think that if we could use more of our brain, that's the part that accesses other dimensions?
And when you say it so simply,
I'm asking, not
no, I know, but you see how when we vocalize these things out loud, it makes it sound kind of ridiculous. But there's more
it
to
shouldn't though. We should talk about these things. That's
What's
why
that-
I'm asking questions.
What's
I
that
love
Bradley
this shit.
Cooper movie where he takes the drug
Yeah,
Limitless?
limitless.
That's what I think would probably happen if
Here's more Kismet weird shit.
if you
I
could
almost
access more of
shared
your brain.
a meme with a quote from that movie tonight
On the way.
before the show. No, while we were standing here, there was a meme and it was a text and it was like, "Hey, you want to get wasted?" And then it was a picture of Bradley Cooper from Limitless. Like the response text was a picture from him, and it was like a meme. And on the picture, it said the words. It's like, I'm already 50 moves ahead of you, and everyone else also. And then the other text was already drunk, and then the guy's response was very. That Limitless text was just an hour ago, and
That's
then you
funny.
just brought that movie up, dude. That kind of shit blows my mind. Kind of shit blows my mind.
I know. I don't
No,
disagree with you on that.
I think that if we could use more of our brain, our communication with all aspects of life would improve. Maybe that goes back to what you were saying about wanting to know what the dog was thinking or wanting to know what the baby was thinking. I think right now, as a species, there's a reason we're only allowed to use X% of our brain, and there's also a reason why we have 90% of our brain there remaining. We have all this extra space in this society of electronics. We're always talking about storage space. How much cloud storage do we have? How many gigabytes of storage do we have on our phone? Why are we bred with that much additional storage space or memory upload capacity or memory upgrade capacity when you buy a computer and it comes with 8 gigs, but you can upgrade it to 16?
Maybe that's why when you get old, you get slower. There's just too much
I think
burned in information.
I think
Hard
part of
drive is
the-
wearing down.
I think
It's part of it because our whole body's wearing down.
I think that the small percentage that they say we use our brain is just what we actively use, and the rest is basically storage. I think that is true. I'm not positive about that though. We could. This is basically turned into
Mr.
a
Orange Goes Deep.
a deep.
Do you
in the
think I'm
outhouse
crazy
episode.
for saying that?
No, dude, I
think the
love
kids
talking
see
about this
ghosts?
shit. No, I don't think you're crazy at all. I now am of the belief that I don't think I am capable of understanding what life really is. We only understand what we can comprehend. So this goes back to our senses, which we've kind of talked about before, and our organs. Like our eyes only see in a certain spectrum. That doesn't mean that there's not more light out there. We just can't fucking see it.
We just can't read it.
We can't detect it. So like the Predator, right? Like he could read in different wavelengths of light. He does, it's a low signature of light, right? So I don't think that we really understand it. So do I believe it's possible that the baby? Absolutely. I'm not asking these questions like as an asshole. I'm asking these questions just to get your honest opinion. I don't want you to answer. I want you to answer unencumbered of what society, what you're talking about. Exactly. It's
because this is a safe zone.
it is a safe zone. And
Thanks for turning it into Deep in the Outhouse. I'm just kidding.
We can cut it right here and then continue.
No, dude, it's all good. This has been an awesome conversation.
No, that's what I was saying. Keep running. So I hope that those questions don't ever come across that way. When I ask questions, I'm asking because I honestly want to know.
No, I didn't
Because
get
I
it
don't
from you. I'm
believe that-
thinking of the listeners.
Oh. I don't believe that we're capable of knowing. I think we're capable of guessing. I think we're capable right now of of how it works in our world and how we see it. But there's still argument, and I'm not nearly smart enough to probably even be bringing this up, but there's arguments that we live in a 2-dimensional world, even though we think it's 3-dimensional, like that we live in a hologram. And there's like scientific proof behind it. It's not just like, now, granted, it's on the edge of science, but there's a lot of science involved. You know what I mean? Like, even they don't know. The popular opinion is what dictates what's true. That's why it cracks me up when I hear people that are impatient about things that I don't believe humans traditionally can conceptualize in time blocks. Meaning,
the fuck is he talking about?
Meaning, for instance, we're overdue for a polar shift, right? Like our north and south poles shift on this planet like every 200,000 to 300,000 years. And we're overdue for it. We're like 780,000 years since the last polar shift. Right? That means nothing to humans, right?
Yeah,
it means
that's-
nothing. Oh, okay. So we're due for a big earthquake in California. We're overdue. I don't know the exact years on that one, but
I mean, you think about how long humanity has existed and how long our actual
and then you hear people
lifespan
say,
is.
like, how can
It's
we can't
nothing.
nothing.
Right.
It's a minute. It's like you're a fucking ant walking around
And
in
you
the
know
street.
what's the
in the
bigger
dirt.
thought to me? That's a big thought. And then people that understand that thought they can then understand the fact that as far back as we can see and how minute we are to that, looking forward to the expected end of the universe, the time that's already passed is as similarly small as humankind's time on Earth. Meaning that there's so much in front of us in the universe that we've barely even started.
Yet my kid thinks me and him are so different because we were born so long
So
from each other.
far apart,
So
right?
far apart.
You
Oh
don't,
my
you don't
God.
understand, Dad.
When you're a
You don't
kid-
get it, Dad.
When you're a kid, you have fucking weird ass perception of time.
Right?
Or
Time
when
is
you're
different.
when
Time
you're
is
a
totally
young
different.
adult.
You feel like you have
It's
a
a
lot
percentage. It's all math. You don't think you use math, but you use it every fucking day.
Yeah.
The reason why summers felt so fucking long when you were 9, 10, and 11 was because you only had 7, 8, 9 summers. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
now it's like, fuck, it's June already? How many times have you said that?
all the time.
I haven't been back to work
least-
where I've had to write anything down yet. As soon as
Couple
I do
days.
tomorrow, because I ain't going to be able to fucking move for a couple days, I'm going to be like, fuck, it's June already. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for over
100 days.
Well,
I like that shit. Sorry, I had to switch it. Hey, Duff, man.
What up?
Why don't you hit him with a little P3?
P3, positively positive positivity. Everything heals. Your body heals. Your heart heals. The mind heals. Wounds heal. Your soul repairs itself. Your happiness is always going to come back. Bad times don't last. And the reason why I picked this one is because with this implementation of my fitness regimen or regaining my fitness habit, it's what I talked about before is like when you're in such a dark place, like there's things that you still want to do, so it's like you have to get yourself back on the plane to get to doing what you want to do, and you have to get back on the track of positivity.
Yep.
And it's impossible to be P3 to the max all the time, as much as we strive to do so. So when, again, I've said it a million times, when negative shit happens to you or when negative shit occurs in your surrounding environment, what do you do with it? How do you handle it? Do you go down into the hole, or do you bounce off? Does it deflect off your shield? Sometimes it deflects off your shield, but it also hit your shoulder. Now you have a flesh wound. How do you heal the flesh wound?
And you have to realize that by going through that experience will make you better for the next one.
Yeah.
And that's how your soul was going to repair itself. That's how you're going to heal yourself, by doing what you've already learned. Hopefully it taught you to do better. And hopefully we all remember PE class, but none of us ever do that shit, right? Stretching every day.
Right.
You know, they taught us that for a reason. They know
Yeah.
that it's good for you.
Yeah.
I don't stretch before I work, but I probably should.
yeah, you're getting up there, bud.
I'm old.
Well,
as
I wrote
fuck.
that.
Don't
I
lie.
wrote that down on my little workout plan that I wrote, and I was always kind of like, stretching's weak, like whatever, until you pull something, until you fuck something up, and then it's like I should have stretched. So before all the workouts that I wrote down I was going to do, I picked a different one for every day and wrote them all out. And the number one, I got down with today, And then, I wrote it down as Monday. Oh, today is Monday. Okay, I'm still on vacation mode. I'm getting back to back to life, back to reality. But then I went back up and wrote number 1, stretch, and I wrote stretch on all of them.
There you go.
Just because, like I was saying, you can get injured in physical fitness. We were on our honeymoon last year in St. Lucia. We're at the gym. We're working out. I was doing like these shoulder pulls or whatever, and I was sitting on the ground and I was pulling them back behind my neck, or maybe it's back shoulders. I don't know. Nikki's the trainer. She figures it all out. I know how to do like curls and push-ups and shit. But anyway, I go to stand up. I was done with my set. I go to stand up. I didn't brace myself. I didn't put my hands on anything to pick myself up. I just stood up from the cross leg position, and my knee hella popped, my left knee, and I was fucked up for months. It's kind of good now, but when I do anything super physical, I wear a knee brace. I'm describing it to my brother-in-law, and he's like, fully tore your ACL. No way you didn't tear your ACL. I tore my ACL once, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, you can kind of like come back from it. You can heal from it, but don't be surprised if that shit fucks up again. And I was like, well, I went to the doctor, and I kind of went in with that. And they said, based on these stretches and this and that, I didn't need an MRI, and I was pretty good. And he's like, yeah, fucking demand a fucking MRI. I guarantee you your shit's torn.
Hey,
I'm like, whatever. I feel
shit-
pretty good right now.
Your
But
shit's going to heal.
yeah,
Just
and I'm
like
going to
this
keep working.
burn on my arm from the horrible Friday I
Fuck
had.
your Friday.
The shit's going to heal.
That's the icing on the cake right there.
Hey,
Well,
no matter what, I will heal from this because
Because everything heals.
everything heals.
it's hard teaching your kids that though,
Oh, I bet.
which is something that we talked about before. And then that first heartbreak comes up or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard teaching your kids that happiness will happen again. And so when you said what you said at the beginning of the show and then what you said now, it was weird. It's like I time warped and I instantly connected both of those moments. It was weird. I heard you say earlier that you knew that you were too far and you needed to get back on the happiness train. And then you said this. And it was weird, man, because I just, everything in between just dropped out for a minute. And I felt like that you were like, you want to remember this. Like, you need to read this more than just tonight.
Yeah, well, and that's why when I was... So I find these things on, like, Instagram.
No, I'm saying some of them are more important than others, but I'm telling you, I think you should read this one again.
Yeah. Oh, I flagged it. I saved it, and that's why I felt like it was perfect for
It
this
was perfect.
episode, and I snagged it and put it right in there just because it's like...
And on a lighter note, my balls will heal.
They will, because everything heals, man. And let's all heal together. Let's do this shit, man.
No,
let's
I love
zen,
it.
let's zen challenge. Let's meditate. Let's eat well. Let's treat each other better. Let's
What we decided we
let's
wanted to do.
exercise.
Now we're figuring out how to do this show. Now we're going to turn it into that, right? Bring the healing to the people.
yeah. Each one teach one.
I love it. Hey, same shit, different t-shirt continues, shitheads.
Yeah.
Go to Twitter tonight. I had a little bit of an extra prop to help me out, so don't forget at Mr_Orange25. Go to the outhouse, sign up for these emails. Send me an email through the website directly with your address. We'll send you guys stickers, as many as you want. Plaster them all over your town, shitheads. Help us out. We love you guys.
Yo.
hate lions.
Man, this is the Duffman. Catch me at Duffman916 on IG and the Twitter. Search SSDT on the Apple Podcast app. Download and listen to the show, shitheads.
Yeah, hit your boy up, Fresh. JT_Fresh with a 3, not an E on the Twitter. You can hashtag SSDT on all platforms if you want to get at us. And remember, folks, you can always catch us on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, TuneIn, SoundCloud, and yeah, especially YouTube. Go check it out on YouTube. Good night, shitheads.
Turd nuggets.